Hey, everybody, it's Sttehn with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Friday edition of Today in Sports Betting. This is one of my favorite shows of the week, Scott, as you and I go head-to-head and pick our three favorite college football games of the weekend. Pretty good week last week for both of us, Scott, both profitable, and the standings have tightened up a little bit. I went 3-0, you went 2-1. I now stand 18-16-1 on the season. You're a very nice 20-14-1. I am just 2 games behind. So, you ready to rock and roll this weekend?
Yeah, sounds good. I know that it's going to be my move first because I believe, as you like to say, losers walk.
Losers walk, buddy.
So I'm going to start off with one game that I feel like a lot of people have been talking about for the last couple of days because of line movement and stuff of that nature. It's going to be on a Big 12 matchup. It's going to be between Kansas State and Texas. And I'm going to be taking Kansas State plus the 7.5 at minus 117 on DraftKings. I know the last time you gave out Kansas State, they lost by about 50 to Oklahoma State. I like him in this spot against Texas, mostly a fade on Texas. Now, a couple reasons why. A lot of off-the-field stuff going on with Texas. First of all, after losing to Iowa State, they can't make a conference title game, so they really have nothing to play for moving forward. In addition to that, Herman, their coach, basically announced during the postgame that he knows he's going to get fired and that Urban Meyer is going to be the next head coach of Texas. He said that in a press conference. Like, he just admitted publicly, like, oh, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? So I don't think there's much confidence there for playing for the coach. Plus, Texas had one of their defensive captains opt out this past week. So you have captains that are opting out, your coach committee is getting fired, and your team has nothing to play for in terms of a conference title game, and you have to travel to Kansas State to face a Kansas State Wildcats team that always gives Texas problems. And Kansas State might not be great, but they run the ball, they eat up a ton of clock, the defense is pretty good, and Texas with all the distractions right now, this line's already dropped from about 9 to 7.5. I think Kansas State might win the game. So for that reason, I'm going to go with Kansas State plus 7.5.
Where are you finding 7.5, bud?
I found 7.5 on DraftKings. They have 7, but you can go to alternative lines, and they had 7.5 at minus 117.
At minus what, 117?
Yeah, minus 117.
All right, because I just had it at 7 there on Bet Online. And, yeah, you challenged me before we went on the air and said we'd have the same pick, and I said I didn't think we would. I was wrong, Scott.
I should have asked you what odds I was going to get there. I was going to ask for 3-1.
Yeah, you should have. I probably I've been giving you 3-1, but I might have given you.
Three picks, 3-1, whatever.
I might have given you 5-2 there. Yeah, for all the same reasons you stated, Scott. This is a Kansas State team that just can't seem to get over the hump. They've lost a lot of close games lately. This is it's not the same team without Skylar Thompson, but they do have a very, very powerful running attack, and they do still have a very good defense. This is a Longhorns team that's in disarray right now. It is being played in Manhattan. They're going to have some fans there. So, yeah, I'm with you on
that fun fact, by the way, even when Texas was not in disarray, since 1992, Kansas State is 12-4 against the spread against Texas?
No, but I knew that doesn't surprise me. They always play.
They always give Texas problems every year.
And they've played Texas close when they're a lot worse and Texas is a lot better.
Yeah.
So
I think Kansas State's going to win the game.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if you wanted to put a little sniff for there at plus 230. That's not a bad price.
I'm just not sure where the money's going to come in on Texas because at this point it seems like Texas, with everything they said publicly, you can't even imagine what's going on behind the scenes with all the boosters and the AD sprinting to Urban Meyer's house trying to unload trucks of money. I don't know where the line's going to close. I think it probably will cross 6.5, 6. It wouldn't surprise me if this closes at around 6 or 5.5.
I don't know.
It's a lot. It's a huge move, and I get that. I just don't see where the buyback comes on Texas.
Squares.
I guess. I mean,
squares that see a Texas that's a name. K-State, it's not a name. 7 points, that's not much. I think you could be right.
I'm just thinking Texas is coming off a pretty bad choke job against Iowa State.
Yeah.
So I don't really know, but I know that we both like Kansas State because there's really nothing to like about this Texas team right now.
No, there isn't. I'm with you. All right, what do you got next?
So my second play is going to be on a total. It's going to be on the Big Ten. Shocker, I'm taking it over with the Big Ten. It's going to be on Nebraska and Purdue. There's been a lot of line movement on this total. I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna take the over 62.5 at -108 on FanDuel. A couple reasons why I like this spot. First of all, Purdue has been a very solid over team so far. This team scores a lot of points. They don't really play any defense. And I mentioned that earlier this year when they played against Minnesota a couple games ago, and that game ended up reaching 65. They had 34 in the process. They played Rutgers last week at home. How do you give up 37 points to Rutgers?
That takes a real effort right there.
That is, and Rutgers only ran the ball in the second half. I forgot the exact numbers, but I think Rutgers ran the ball 90% of their plays in the second half, and they still dominated them. It was really just bizarre. But the starting quarterback got injured for Purdue. Plummer came in. Plummer's looked good the last couple of games. I don't think that's really much of a downgrade there. Is Nebraska that great? No, but I know that Scott Frost likes to play fast. I think McCaffrey's a decent enough quarterback to move the ball in this Purdue defense. And at the end of the day, Nebraska's defense isn't great either, as they give up 41 to Illinois. So I think both teams get into the 30s. And this game should be pretty close, pretty high scoring since the spread is -1. I do expect this game to be a nail-biter. But I do believe that this game will feature a ton of points. And for that reason, I do believe that this total is a bit low. So for that reason, my second play is going to be on Nebraska and Purdue, over 62.5 at -108.
Now, is Martinez hurt?
It's more or less just McCaffrey being better. I mean, even when
you overestimate Scott Frost, my friend. If Martinez isn't hurt, he's gonna get snaps.
Well, from what I can see right now, he's not on the injury report. So I think he will get snaps. I'm just throwing it out there that I think we can both agree that the Adrian Martinez experiment failed miserably, and McCaffrey has looked like a better quarterback so far.
We're not the coach, though. That's.
Oh no, I'm aware. I'm just saying that it seems like they're starting to give McCaffrey a little bit more. But even with both quarterbacks, I know Martinez isn't great. Purdue's defense is so bad that I do think that the dual threat mobility for both quarterbacks for Nebraska should have success. So I think both teams will move the ball. I think this game will get into the 60s. So I like the over.
All right, very good.
You have any thoughts?
I don't hate that. I do like Jack Plummer there at Purdue. I think he's going to be the quarterback going forward for this team.
He had 37 to Rutgers. I mean,
yeah, I don't want anything to do with any Nebraska game ever.
That's fair.
Over would be the play there, but I don't want to get involved.
I wouldn't surprise me if they give up 40-something in the process of Rondell Moore and Bell go nuts on the outside for Purdue. That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. For my second pick, Scott, I don't know how you avoided this one. I'm going to take the game of the century here. It's the one that we've all been waiting for the entire season, and that is the Bowling Green Falcons and the Akron Zips getting together there in Akron. Akron, as you might expect, a powerhouse that they are a 2.5-point favorite. Scott, I'm riding the favorite in this one, buddy. This is Zips all day long. These two teams, they are next level bad. They are absolutely dreadful teams. The difference is Bowling Green is absolutely incompetent throwing the ball and running the ball. Akron can at least run the ball.
I feel like Dollard signed the wrong, signed up for the wrong college. He's just so much better than everyone else. I just feel like he accidentally picked the wrong school when he ended up at Akron.
Yeah, they can run the ball a little bit. This Bowling Green, this defense is next generation bad. They give up 339 yards a game rushing, Scott. That's
not good.
That's not good. That is not good. This is going to be an Akron team, I think, that's going to be able to move the ball. It's going to be a horrible game.
Both teams are going to trip over themselves, but I do think, as you like to say, I think that Akron is one shoe. So I think they'll win the game.
Yeah, I think they might have a flip-flop. I don't think they have an entire shoe. But, yeah, in the land of the barefoot, I think they've at least got a sock on. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I do like the Zips right here.
I actually thought about giving out Akron as well, but I decided to not do that. Instead, I'm going to be talking about a team in your area. I'm going with Mizzou, and I like a -2.5 against Arkansas at -115 on FanDuel. I don't get this line at all. And I know that this line could be a trap line to some degree, but I really just don't understand why they're only laying 2.5 here, because Arkansas, they've played some good teams. I get it. They played A&M. They played Florida. They played LSU. They've been close. Yeah, I get it. They're 1-3 in their last 4. Mizzou's won 4 of their last 5. And the only loss came on the road against Florida. But they killed Vanderbilt last week. They beat Kentucky. They beat South Carolina. This Mizzou team can move the ball, and they're actually pretty good defensively. I know that Felipe Franks has had some moments this year, but Arkansas just, after a bunch of ATS covers, they have not covered in their last 2. They've really been struggling as the season has progressed. I think Mizzou is actually a pretty good football team in the SEC that isn't worthy of being ranked by any means, but I do think that they are pretty solid, and I think that they're the better team in this matchup. So for me, I'm going to go with Mizzou at home because I think 2.5 is too low. I think this one should be probably closer to around, I'd say, 5.
Yeah, I think that's legit. I actually looked at this game. This is probably.
You know why the spread is so low? Because I still can't figure it out.
I think Arkansas still has the perception.
I looked at the injury reports. I couldn't find anything.
No, I think that you're still getting the perception of those early covers, like you said, where they played A&M tough. They beat Tennessee. They played LSU tough.
I know they played LSU tough, but we can both acknowledge LSU stinks.
Yeah, but that's, again, you're talking about public perception and why a line is.
I get it. I'm just saying I'm getting 2.5 with a home team that's been playing really well lately. I'll take that.
Yeah, and it's also a home team where they're going to have people in the stands again because it's because Missouri. That's the way kind of we roll. So, I totally endorse that play. I think this is a sneaky good Mizzou squad. The defense is getting better.
This game will be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do think that Mizzou will win by 7.
I think Drinkowitz has done a good job there in his first year at Mizzou.
Well, they were a disaster, so he's made them look presentable.
Yeah, they're gonna, in a normal year, you'd get them to a bowl game.
I'm not going to sell Arkansas's coach short, though. What he's done with this program in the span of a year, round of applause to you, because Arkansas was awful.
Yeah, they were a dreadful team the last couple of seasons. Just, basically non-competitive there. So, All right, very good. I'm going to stay in the general area here, Scott. I'm going to go with the college that's actually the closest major college to my house, and that is the Kansas Jayhawks, as they travel to Lubbock, take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Scott, I'm going to take the total here of over 62. This is a KU team that they redefine bad defense. They have given up season highs in points, I believe, Scott, to everyone they've played.
It's definitely impressive.
It is quite a record. They have never given up less than 37, and they haven't given up less than 52 since the middle of October. I don't care about the Red Raider offense. I don't care how bad they are. I don't care how much they've been struggling. None of that matters to me. I think they're going to get into the 40s easily, perhaps top 50, and I will take the Red Raider Jayhawk over 62 in this one. By the way, the over is 7-0-1 in KU's games. And throw a little log on the fire there. KU's leading rusher is going to sit this one out. So they're going to have to throw the football. They're actually fairly competent with KU.
The bar is set pretty low, but they're definitely better they're better than you'd expect.
For KU standards, they actually throw the ball pretty well. The quarterback has done a decent job since he's come in. He's been in there the last couple games. He actually throws the ball around. And the one position they do have one legitimate player, and they do have a decent receiver. So for me, this is a no-brainer. I'm riding the trend. They gave up 59 to TCU. That's another offensively challenged team.
We both had that game.
Yeah, we both had that game. They gave up 55 to Kansas State. It's just there's nothing to like at all. Like I said, they've given up 107 and 121. They've given up 228 points their last 4 games.
So my question for you is, I know you like the total. Is there a reason why you like the total over the side?
Well,
I know the Texas Tech's defense is terrible as well. I'm just kind of curious.
I might have another play on this one for my premium subscribers, Scott.
Okay. I'm sorry I asked.
That's all right, man. Yeah, and I can't. That's yeah. This is a. I don't again not giving away too much because I got a lot of premium picks lined up for tomorrow. But yeah, this is just a KU team that's not good. So you really if you want it, you can take your pick in this one. Honestly, anything you did involving the over or fading KU is probably not going to be wrong. KU's 0-7-1 against the spread. They're 7-0-1 to the over. So yeah, it's you can pick your poison here. This is a Texas Tech team that's going to be scoring a lot of points and taking care of business down there in Lubbock.
Yeah, for an honorable mention, just for another play that you could hypothetically throw out there because you kind of just accidentally gave an extra one because I egged you onto it. Clemson against Virginia Tech. Do I really need to say much?
Nope.
I mean, Clemson's just going to try to kill people. You saw what they did to Pittsburgh last week. Virginia Tech's been, well, after starting off the year okay and then losing to Liberty, they've completely just fallen off the rails. So, yeah, Clemson can name the score. It really just whatever they want to win by.
I think that Pitt defense is far superior to the Virginia Tech defense.
That Pitt defense so superior, gave up 50-something to Clemson. It's not going to be pretty.
And I'm just saying
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that defense gave up 31 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
it's going to get pretty ugly.
Oh, yeah, that's totally fine. And that's, I hate to go on the show and give out massive play like lay 31.
I did it with college basketball laying 37.5. So you're talking.
We were prepared to do it last week with Clemson, or no, the week before
with Florida State. Yeah, we were going to lay 35. They would have won by 60. I'm confident they would have won by 60.
Dabo's got kind of a mean streak in him.
Well, it should be. They lost a game rarely in the regular season.
Yeah, this is definitely something that's going to be an interesting game to watch. I'm with you. I think that this is I see no hope. I see no path to victory, no path to a cover for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, now you might be wondering why I didn't mention that as one of my top 3 plays, and the answer is because I'm dumb. There you go. I basically just gave you 4 because I really don't know how Virginia Tech's going to cover that.
Yeah, 20. I think that's a gift. I think 20.
That line's going to keep climbing. There's no way anybody's taking Virginia Tech late. I don't see that at all.
No, and you've got a great Clemson rush defense there, and that's if you can stop,
Hooker and they can't throw the ball.
Right, that's it. If you can stop Hooker and then the running back there, Herbert, the kid from KU, that's it. That's all they got. Mm-hmm. So that's going to make them one-dimensional. You turn a team one-dimensional against Clemson, it is going to be an ugly.
You think Lawrence throws for 4 touchdowns or 5?
I think he goes for 5. I think they leave him in long enough to throw for 5.
I think they're going to try to somehow bring him back to the Heisman that he's got no chance of winning. So, yeah, I agree. I think Clemson, that's another one of those games where they score 50 or 60. I'll just be looking at the board, just keeping track.
Yeah, it's going to be I think that's a solid play. Look at this, Scott. We're giving away
some bonus stuff.
Extra picks, man.
Oh, it is December, so, it's kind of the month of – we're a little bit of premature Christmas gifts, but I'm fine with it.
Who do you have as your who do you have in your top 4, Scott? Who's going to the playoffs?
About right now or just predicting the end of the season?
Well, right now as it stands right now.
It's the obvious 3 of Bama, Notre Dame, Clemson, and personally, I think Ohio State would get the nod. Do I want to see them in it? Hell no. But I think that they would easily get the nod at this point.
So let me ask you, Scott. If Coastal,
I'm assuming you agree.
Yeah, I suppose.
The committee's going to be biased and put Ohio State in anyway.
If Coastal beats BYU by 25 points, and I know that's
got no shot.
I'm just saying. Do you even think about Coastal here?
That's what I'm saying. No, I meant no shot. I didn't mean about beating BYU. I meant getting into the playoff. They got no shot.
Okay. All right.
There's no way that even Coastal running the table would pass Cincinnati.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
I would love to see an eliminator between Cincinnati and Coastal, which won't happen. But you're just making stuff up at this point. I think Cincinnati's the best non-Power 5. I think Cincinnati's just on a different level. Coastal's great and all, but that Cincinnati team just looks different to me.
Yeah, they look like a Power 5 school is what they look like.
Yeah.
They look like a team that can compete with those guys. They don't have a lot of letdowns either. That's the and BYU's had a really good season. They had that little hiccup there against UTSA, but don't look now. UTSA, not a bad team, 6-2 on the year. So I'd like to see, I'd like to see a round robin with the four of them, like we talked about. But I was just food for thought there. And you let Ohio State in if they play 5 games.
Would I personally, or do I think the committee's going to do it?
Yeah. Do you think? Well, you think that you?
I think the committee's going to let them in. I wouldn't, but I know the committee. I know there's a lot that factors in with viewership and money. There's a lot of other variables at play. At the end of the day, even though Cincinnati, I think, deserves to get in, you can make the argument Florida, stuff like that. But I think Florida's going to lose to Bama, and you could argue about all those. I can't give it to A&M because they're not going to win their own division. I just know that at the end of the day, the NCAA would make a lot more money if Ohio State gets in because nobody really cares about Cincinnati.
So let me ask you this. If Indiana would have beat Ohio State, does Indiana get the same kind of love that Ohio State does?
I'd say probably not.
No, absolutely not.
There's an Ohio State bias because they've dominated the Big Ten for what feels like about 40 years.
Right.
I mean, it's not the case. I mean, my lifetime's been mostly Ohio State. You had a little bit of Michigan early in my life, but still, Ohio State's dominated the conference for about 20 years. And, yeah, they get benefit of the doubt, and you see a lot of these moments. And I know some of you might say, well, they didn't get benefit of the doubt that one time that Bama got the 4 over them and blah, blah. Yeah, you lost to Iowa by 30 points. I don't feel bad for you about that. And then Alabama ended up winning the championship. So that seemed to be a pretty good decision at the time. But, no, I think Ohio State will get in. Am I happy about it? No. Do I think this Ohio State team's very good? No. I think they're fine. But they almost blew, a 28-point lead to Indiana last game?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think this team's very good, and I think the Big Ten is highly overrated because every other team that was supposed to compete with them, I'm not even including Michigan and Penn State. I'm throwing those in the garbage. I'm talking about the team that was supposed to compete with them on Wisconsin, even Northwestern over the last week or so.
Yeah. They
both imploded. So there's nobody in the Big Ten that's worth anything.
Well,
even Minnesota stinks.
And you get no love at all from the Pac-12.
They don't deserve any love.
Well, why is that?
Well, because Oregon lost. They got no shot.
USC runs the table?
Hell no.
You'll go 5-0.
Hell no, USC.
Why not?
Because I've seen them play.
What?
I've seen them play. Absolutely not. I can't. I've seen them play. That team is not even worthy of being a top 20 team in the country.
Well, they're undefeated.
I've seen them play.
I'm
telling you, that team is not good. I've seen USC play.
All right.
I forgot who I saw them against Arizona, who's 0-for, and they were down with less than a minute to go. I saw them against Arizona State.
You're mad because they didn't cover against Arizona.
No, but even before that, though, even against Arizona State, they were down double digits with 2 minutes to go, and then they needed an onside. What, are you kidding me?
Okay.
And then they beat Utah, which was impressive, but Utah's not any good.
Washington? How about Washington? Washington's undefeated too.
I think Washington might be better than USC.
Okay, that's my point. Why do you if you've got a team that's 5-0?
It doesn't help that the Pac-12 is only playing 6 games.
Well, how many's the Big Ten playing?
I don't know. That's why I don't want Ohio State in either. I'm just saying Ohio State had an advantage. They started the season in the top 5. They don't have to work their way up.
Yeah, that's
something teams.
That's what it's all about. It's all about preseason ranking.
Yeah, but if you're talking about the Pac-12, I know it's the Power 5 conferences.
Yes, it is.
I call it the 4.5. I don't even put Pac-12 anywhere near
the way it works.
The other 4.
It's not the way the ratings work.
I'm just saying, when was the last time that you actually had a Pac-12 team that was fully relevant? Oregon with Marcus Mariota? Like it's been an eternity.
So that penalizes this year's teams?
I don't think it penalizes this year's teams. I think that penalized them that they had 2 – Oregon was their main chance because Oregon was in the top 10, and they lost. So I think USC simply does not have enough time to make them enough ground.
Okay.
I think the Pac-12 has no shot.
All right. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying.
I think the Big 12 should have no shot, but yet somehow Oklahoma keeps flying up the rankings even though they already lost twice. The Big 12 should have no shot.
If they put a 2-loss team in there over an undefeated team, over an undefeated Cincinnati and undefeated BYU, there's going to be a revolt.
There should be. And honestly, it would be
good. There's going to be an 18 playoff within 3 years.
It would be good for us long term if there was a massive conspiracy going on or massive whatever. Yes. But Oklahoma and Iowa State are somehow in the top 10. I think Oklahoma right now is playing like a top 10 team because ever since they ended up losing the second time, they've been great. But they already lost twice. What are we doing here?
No, No, yeah, you can't.
You got both of them jumping BYU. What are you kidding me?
Yeah, if you put in a 2-loss Big 12 team over an undefeated Cincinnati, or even an undefeated Pac-12 team, I don't care what you say. No, it's a flaw in the system. Got to go to 18.
And the system's stupid because there's no definitive measurables. You just have a bunch of opinions and people in a back room talking about which resume they think is the best, and it's all just plus you have a bunch of people in the committee who are biased because they're trying to get their own conference's teams in there to make more money.
Well, supposedly they sit out when they talk about their teams from their own conference. Supposedly they go out of the room and all that. So
sure, okay.
I know. All right. Well, just a little rant for to end.
It's a rant, but I'll close on this. When it comes to the Power 5 conferences, when you're talking about the actual college football playoffs, it's really been the Power 3, because the Big 12 has lost in the semis every single time. They've never made it to a championship game, and the Pac-12 has made it to one title game. They got killed by, was it Ohio State that year with Ezekiel Elliott? Other than that, though, they haven't had a team in. It's mostly the ACC because of Clemson.
Clemson, that's right.
Yeah, the SEC and the what was the third one?
So you're the Big Ten. So you're saying that it comes down that there's the Big Ten, and then there's Clemson, and then that's
my argument.
And then there's the SEC, and that's it.
No, my main argument is the fact that I think the idea that there's the Power 5 and every other conference is a joke, because 2 of the 5 conferences get smacked in the playoffs every year. That's my argument.
Okay. I'm not sure that
I'm not saying that these other teams like Cincinnati or others would hang tougher than these Big 12 teams and everything like that, but I've seen Oklahoma numerous times. They don't win. I've seen other conferences. Pac-12 hasn't even been close to making it in for the last couple of years. But people say, oh, well, it's a Power 5 school. I don't give a damn about the Power 5. It's really the Power 3.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
It's not the Power 3.
Am I wrong?
It's not the Power 3. It's the Power 2 in Clemson.
Yeah, okay. Well, you could argue it's the Power 1 in Clemson because it's been Ohio State, Clemson, and SEC.
Yeah. Well,
no other Big Ten team that's been – I mean, Wisconsin, I guess. But
that begs the question, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I think what we're doing here is just a big waste of time.
8 teams, Scott, at least.
I want 8 teams. That's what I want.
They play – you know what? Play 16. I don't care.
This year ACC is different because of Notre Dame, but I don't even know – are they going to stay in the ACC, or it's a one-year thing?
No, they're not going to stay in the ACC.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, you're looking at –
they got their own TV deal.
That's what I'm saying. You're looking at it's just a bunch of nonsense, but nobody talks about it because every talking head's like, oh, what about Bama and Clemson? I'm like, yeah, we know. It's the 17th year in a row you want Alabama, Clemson.
8 teams, 16 teams. Tell me you wouldn't like to see Alabama play Coastal in the first round.
I don't want it to be that long because you have injury risks, which are concerning because a lot of these people want to go pro, and they probably will go pro.
I don't care.
So I don't want 16. I think you could go 8.
You play 6. You play quarters in every other NCAA sport, including FCS.
I'm fine with 8. I think 8's fine.
Okay.
If you want to maybe do 10 and give the top 2 buys or something, maybe you can work something like that out.
Okay.
But I think – so we're in agreement here, though, that the current format based on these Power 5 schools, even though it's mostly just 4 schools competing every year, it's the same 4 every time, basically.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I'm over it, too. I've been over it for years.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. There you go. Rant over. As always, if you want information on the games that Scott and I have picked or any other games, there is just one spot for you to go, and that is winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives into every game every single day in America. We always want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you think of our 3 picks. Let us know what you think of the college football playoff. Are you happy with 4? You want to see 8? You want to see 16? Want to see them open up to 64 like the basketball? No.
That was the Mike Leach idea from a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know. But whatever it is, drop them in the comment section. Don't forget.
By the way, one more. Sorry. Even if we followed the Mike Leach's system, Mississippi State would still not make the playoff.
Mississippi State would still not make the playoff.
Yeah,
no, not this year, not next year. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's what I was going to say. And as always,
you want to recap the 3 once again?
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to do here. So go ahead and
for the sake of it, I think we're going to do 4 because we both agree on Clemson. So
I guess. Go ahead and give your 3, Scott.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to be doing Kansas State plus 7.5 at -117 on DraftKings. I'll be doing Nebraska Purdue over 62.5 at -108 on FanDuel. Missouri -2.5 at -115 on FanDuel. And I'll also throw in Clemson -21.5 at -117 on BetOnline.
So that's the thing. We're going to make an official 4-pack this weekend?
We both agree on the pick, so it's not like it changes our record or anything. I just like the play.
Okay.
I mean, you can not do that, but I don't know why you wouldn't, because we both said we're not really sure how Virginia Tech's going to keep this game close.
Yeah, we're definitely in agreement.
For the record, who cares?
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. I'm going to go with the Mighty Zips -2.5 over Bowling Green. I'm going to take the Texas Tech over 62, and I am also on the Kansas State Wildcats plus the 7.5.
All right.
Excuse me. All right, guys. That's all you get for this one. Make sure you tune in later tonight. We'll have our NFL show up and ready to go, as well as Scott and I taking a look at the main games going on in college basketball tomorrow. So we got a full day, buddy. We're about halfway done here, so we got more shows to do. But for now, that's going to be a wrap for this one. So we appreciate you guys watching as always. Wish you good luck on all your plays. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Winers, you guys take care. Have a great day. And we'll see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everyone.